buckles up. It is what it
Have
is.
you ever? Huh?
It is what it is.
Have you ever thought about investing in real estate, but you just didn't know how, or had a couple questions on the deal that you were looking at, or where to get the money? Well, every Sunday, Dan Borrero and I go live to answer your questions about real estate investing to help you get where you want to go. Because what I have learned is it is extremely challenging to build a real estate empire and portfolio without hanging around other people that are doing the same. So tonight we would enjoy hanging out with you as Dan and I talk about the deals we're doing. We want to hear your deals, where you're at, what you're doing, how we can help you. Please chime in because it's challenging for people that work full time, 9 to 5 or second shift, to run ideas by their coworkers and friends because most people aren't going to be on that same frequency and vibration as full time real estate investors like Dan and myself. So we sacrifice our time, as Dan, we were talking earlier, like we do this because we love you. We don't even have to get on here. We really, really earnestly want to help you guys build your real estate so we can all collectively as a community have better financial freedom. Dan Borrero, how you doing, buddy?
Like I said earlier, man, under the weather, but of course, man, you and I make commitments to do this on a Sunday night, so we make no excuses and we make sure we're here.
No excuses. I was sick. I was asking Dan, I'm like, you work your whole life to make your own schedule as much as you can. And then you cross a hurdle in your life, and then life would tell you, look, no, this is your new schedule. Right.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's crazy.
Exactly.
So Dan, we got somebody. We're gonna do some quick current events as we're waiting for our first caller. We are gonna take
Put up
your
the phone number. There you go.
yeah, my bad. We got a current event here. I wanted to, what is this? Sorry, y'all. Landlords get no female. Let me blow this up. Female tenant charged in murder in New York, super wrapped in garbage bags after 24,000 in back rent. How do we get to 20? First of all, how do we get to 24,000 in back rent? Dan, I don't even.
I got to tell you, I did a post on this yesterday, and that was one of the main questions that people kept putting into the comment. How does the rent back up to $24,000?
That's a illogical question.
Yeah. So the reality is this: most people don't understand that in the city of New York, the laws are so pro-tenant that it actually has bankrupt countless landlords.
Oh, wow.
Right? Because the bank doesn't care that we don't have tenants that aren't paying us, and then if we don't pay the real estate taxes, then there's tax liens put on against us. They don't care that the tenant's not paying us. So what happens is cases that this landlord's had this tenant in court for a while. And right now, I'll briefly give you what the way.
Caller, hold 1 second. Caller, hold 1 second. Go ahead, Dan.
I'll briefly get to you guys the way it works. So when I want to evict a tenant in the city of New York, I have to give them whatever notices those are. It could be depending on how long they've been there. So it could be either 30-day notice, 60 or 90-day notice. And what dictates the notice is the amount of time they've been living.
Hold on, you got more than one notice?
Depending on the time that they've been there. So if they've been there for 5 years, it's a 90-day notice.
Gotta be joking.
No. So now I got to give them 90 days in which I'm not getting paid. Then I got to go to court and say, hey, court, I want to take this tenant to court because I haven't been paid. The court says, no problem. You got to go for a docket number. Then what happens is it takes 2 to 4 weeks to get a docket number. Then I go to court and say, court, I want to file for eviction. I got a docket number. Now the person owes me 4 months rent, right? Now the court says, no problem. I says, okay, so when am I going to court? Or we'll let you know about a month and a half. I said, well, when is that going to happen? Well, judge probably until about the end of July or August, right?
That's not funny, dog.
This is no joke. So now I'm into this. Now before I even see the judge, I'm there for 12. I'm out rent for 12 months, but yet I got to give hot water, heat. I got to make repairs because if you don't, they hold that against you in court, right? So now on top of that, when I go to court, they're going to say I don't know English. So if there's no translator available, which usually there isn't, because the courts are so busy and they never hired enough people, right? I got to come back 3 weeks later. Now we're at 13 months. Now they come back to court and the tenant says, through the translator, hey, you know what? I don't feel comfortable answering any questions. I need an attorney. Judge gives them another 3 to 4 weeks to come back. Now they're at 13 weeks. Now is when we start to hear the case. Now is when the case starts to be heard. But it goes on. Let's say the judge you have to go back to court at least 5-6 times because there's always an excuse on the tenant's behalf, right? Before the judge may say, okay, I'm going to give you an eviction. But it takes the judge another 8 weeks to sign the warrant for the eviction.
Dan, stay right here. Let's take our caller, then we'll get back to your eviction notice here. Caller, state your name and where you're calling from. You're on the line with Chris and Dan.
Hi, Chris and Dan. This is Wendy. I'm calling from Chesterfield, Virginia. How are you all?
How are you, Wendy?
Chesterfield, VA. You guys, Chesterfield.
I am south of Richmond. Yeah,
big money.
Suburb of Richmond.
You got the big money out there. Big money. I know where you
are. We're trying.
Wendy, thank you for calling us. How can we help?
Yes.
We got a special for everybody on tonight too. Make sure we're gonna give y'all some tonight that you're not gonna be able to get after tonight. So, Wendy, what you got?
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you so much. I listened to one of your YouTube videos around the refrigerator and not providing that. That's kind of optional. And
there you go.
My husband and I, we've partnered with someone to renovate or flip a house, and we just did our own independently. We bought the refrigerator.
You a big deal. Hold up, man. I don't want that.
Y'all are too much.
People think buying a house is like not a big deal. That's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
That's a big deal.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So you got your own flip going.
Yeah, well, we just we're under contract now. So it was only one day on the market.
To sell.
And
to sell.
Sale?
You're in a contract to sell right now.
No. The contract is accepted. So it's pending. Like the investment
property. He's asking, are you buying it or selling the contract? This contract is to sell it
or to buy? I'm trying to understand.
To sell.
All right, cool.
To sell. We sold our property.
All right. No, you haven't sold it. I promise you.
I'm going a little fast.
You selling it. You ain't sold nothing.
Oh, yeah. And not until it's closed.
All right.
So we're looking at another property, and I'm trying to figure out, as it relates to the buyer's realtor, excuse me, I know you're particular about that, realtor commission. Once we buy the next one and then we flip it and we're trying to sell it, I'm trying to think of how I can go about, what do you want to call it? I think you said it was like a flat fee broker. And then I'm trying to determine whether I should just use my realtor to do either 1%, or is it cheaper for me to do the flat fee broker? But if I do the flat fee broker, I don't understand that process. And what I mean by that is, how do I get the contract? How do I schedule all of this stuff? How do I send the contract back? That's the part I don't know.
That's a good question. Good point. Dan, you want to start? You want me to start?
All right. So you're an investor, and you need to look at this from a total different perspective. You're not a one-time home buyer or end user. Mm-hmm. So
that's correct. Okay.
I am personally, in my properties that I'm selling, I'm still paying all of the commissions.
You paying 3 and 3?
It depends on the price of the property. So if it's one of my condos in Florida that sells for less than $200, I'm going to pay 4.5%. But the way I'm going to do it is 2.5% is going to go to the selling agent. And
what price range are you in? What price range are you in, Wendy?
We stay around for the selling range. The selling range is in between very high 200s and low 300s. And we typically buy in the high hundreds, very, very low 200s.
So it's not a lot of commission to the realtors, right? There's really not much incentives because remember, realtors, they get that money. You think you're writing, you stroke a $15,000 check to the realtor. You think, wow, that's a lot of money, but that realtor now has to split that commission with the selling agent and the listing agent, and then they got to split that commission with their broker, and then the broker's going to take out like original mission insurance fees. They're going to take out office fees. So they're lucky if that realtor walks away with $3,000 of that
But that
$15,000.
ain't Wendy's problem, though.
No,
I
that's
hear
not
you
her
on
problem.
that,
But
though.
I want to educate the public to
I
understand.
got you.
You know that yes, it looks like it's a lot of money, but it's not all going to those two realtors. That's number one. Number two, now on the low hanging fruit properties, anything below 3, 4, 500,000, I usually go 4.5%, 4%. And the way I normally do it is actually I will do depending on my relationship too. I normally would go 1.5% to the listing agent and 3% to the selling agent. Now people say, well, why would you go to the selling agent? And I would say, well, because if I'm selling the property, I want that selling agent. If there's like another 20 doors in that zip code, I want that selling agent to show my door, because now they're marketing it to their seller as, wait a minute, you don't have to pay me the commission on this, even though we signed this agreement, because I got the seller to pay me, right? Now, whether it's true or not, it's irrelevant, but that's what they're putting into their client's head. Secondly, everyone else is only paying them 2% of that commission that the listing agent agreed to. So I'm paying 1% more. So basically, I'm putting that carrot in front of the horse. That's number one. Now, if the property goes for, let's say, $1 million, $1.2 million, then I'm only paying 3%, because 3% of $1 million is a whole lot more money than 4.5% or 4% of 300,000. But at that point, the listing agent is getting 1%, the selling agent is getting 2%. Same ideology. Now, somebody the listing agent says, well, I don't want to work for 1%. No problem. You can make the whole 3%, sell it.
They don't want to do that, though. They never want to find a buyer.
Right. So it all depends on, I want to do what everyone else isn't. I want those agents to bring me the deals. I want the agents to bring me the deals when it's something for sale. Because I'm going to say to that agent as well, you know what? I know you didn't make a lot of money on this deal, right? You only made 1.5%, not a problem. Bring me the deal. I'm going to give it to you to sell when we're ready to sell. So you see how I'm enticing them to bring me the deals when the market's tight. They're going to bring it to me first before they put it on the MLS, and they're also going to work their asses off to sell that deal, because they're going to get paid more money.
So you were curious about the flat fee stuff. So Wendy, if you're new, are you relatively new? You've done 2 flips so far?
Yep, done 2 flips.
I just want to.
We rented one, but just 2 flips.
Okay, I'm not saying that that's not a lot. I just want to big you up, Wendy. That's a lot. Most people buy 2 houses their entire life. Okay, now you've done it in the last whatever years. You can say hello. Come on, hurry up. So the flat fee broke. What's up? I'm on the live, buddy. You can say hi. The flat fee broker, y'all, Wendy. Yes, you're going to have some skill and expertise, because you are now representing yourself. Okay? When the contracts come in, you have to negotiate that. When the home inspector comes by and they want to get some repairs, you have to deal with the home inspector. You got to let them come in and going. When it's time to go to closing, it's almost like you're wearing 2 hats. You're the seller and you're the realtor. You got me?
Okay.
On a flat, that's how flat fees work.
Yeah.
So we do everything, but I've been doing it since 2004. So it's like the broker we deal with, we write her a check, she puts it on the MLS. The next time she hears from us is when they make it pending. She takes no phone calls.
Okay.
She doesn't deal with zilch, zero. She does nothing but get a check.
Okay.
So I don't know.
So I need to. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. So I need to kind of do my own due diligence and learn a little bit more about, how to negotiate and how to look at these contracts and how to respond to them. Okay.
Wendy, let me
All right.
ask you a question, Wendy.
Getting it, Wendy. Wendy sharp as a tack, y'all.
What is your? I'm assuming you have a 9 to 5 job. What is it that you do?
So I'm actually a VP for a bank.
Okay.
Oh,
So
sound like he's so
So
diplomatic.
I'm in compliance and risk.
okay. So Wendy, let me just give you a piece of
I
advice.
appreciate.
Um,
Okay.
you and your husband both work. Do you have kids?
Yes, I have two handsome boys.
Okay. So your life is full with your days are full.
Stuff
You got to
to do.
get up.
You got shit to do.
You got to prepare for work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You got to, on the weekends, you also got to do the chores around your house. You get home from work and you got to concentrate on your business, right? Also prepare the house for meals and things of that sort and do things around the house, right? You got to spend quality time with your family.
Mhm.
So stop thinking about the money you're going to save by not paying a realtor and think about the money that you're going to make as a result of paying that realtor, because you don't have to do the day-to-day stuff that realtor is going to do, which is going to give you time to work on your business. I don't look at it like I pay my realtors. I look at it like the buyers paid them. Because when I do my numbers, we calculate those numbers, we calculate those costs to see if it makes sense before we even buy it. Right? There's certain things during the course of there's things in this business you don't want to get involved with. It's not worth your time. Your time has a higher value than that.
That's true. That is so true. You know what? I was overthinking it, and everything that y'all said is very.
Go ahead, Wendy.
Mm-hmm. I said I was overthinking it. Everything that you both said, it makes sense. So I'm definitely going to take that into consideration, especially the time part, because my husband, he really wants to do this full time. Because he has his side business is renovations and repairs. So that's what he does.
CONtractor.
But his passion is around that,
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I don't.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
As you grow in the business, if you're doing 3, 4, 5, 10 houses a year, you'll get a relationship with somebody, and then you can pay him 1%, because realtors understand the fact multiple deals are worth way more than most people are going to buy 2 houses, as we said earlier, their entire life. You, Wendy, are buying, let's just say you're doing 2 or 3. I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing multiple houses. So they want you coming back and coming back, coming back. So, but right now, yeah, unfortunately, I paid 3% when I first started to both sides. As you do more deals, you can say, look, man, I'm bringing value. How about 2%? How about 1.5%? So you can, but for you to do a flat fee now, being one, no doubt you're a member of my Roundup crew, you watch the content. I would like for you to get a little more experience before you start taking calls and making offers and doing concessions, and that you can kind of have that expert kind of rolling with you.
Okay, that makes sense. Give myself a little bit more time. Okay.
I would just imagine you getting 50 phone calls on people who want to make offer, and you like, shit, what am I? And
I don't have time.
Yeah,
I ain't got time for that right now.
I would hate to see
your time has a bigger value.
Yeah, you imagine her negotiating. She going to work. She negotiating all these contracts. She got 10 contracts. She got to look over. You don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that.
All right.
Yeah.
Wendy, good talking to you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you, Wendy.
Right. Thank you.
Yep.
Bye.
Dan, tell the people what we got coming this weekend, y'all. This is just for you guys only.
So Chris and I, we've been talking, and we were saying we get so many questions about contractors, right? And we decided to put this course together, and it's only going to be $29, guys. It's going to be for 3 hours this week on Saturday. But we got a special. But let's talk about what we're going to be covering. We're going to be covering where should you start, gathering the information on these contractors. In other words, where do you find these contractors, right? How do you find a reputable contractor that actually knows what they're doing? We're going to talk about how do you verify their skills and their work quality. We're going to be talking about what questions you should be asking them during the interview process and what kind of response are you looking for, not only with the words they're saying, but with their body language, right? What the words that they're selecting. Again, We're going to be talking about how to compare the estimates or multiple estimates that you're going to be getting, why you should be getting those multiple estimates. We're going to be talking about how do you finalize the final contract. But even better, Chris is going to be giving you guys the contract that he uses with his contractors for free. That comes with this, right? And how do you control the money? If you control the money, you control the job, right? If you lose control of that money, you're going to lose control of the job. But we got it. We got it. This is only $29, guys. And you'll be on there with Chris Haskins, myself. But most importantly, you'll also have the opportunity to network with everyone else in the Zoom conference. Right, Chris, if you don't mind, scroll down. I want to show them something big that you and I decided to do. Go to so right now there are two packages: a general admission package of $29, right? But until tonight
only.
What, Chris, hold on. I didn't even discuss this with you.
It's just for y'all. What?
Are we going to do this sale that we discussed earlier that we may think about?
You was talking about it, but all
right, so let's do it, man. You want to do it until midnight?
Whatever you recommend, Dan. I'll roll
guys.
With
all right. Martin Luther King's birthday is tomorrow. Let's celebrate Martin Luther King's birthday. We're going to celebrate it by giving you guys some serious game. You could get the CEO package for the general admissions package price of only $29. The CEO package not only comes with the hiring guide, which you guys are going to get, right? But it also comes with that you're going to start the class 30 minutes earlier than everyone else. Yep. In addition, you're going to get a copy of the video so you can go back and review it. Mm-hmm. And you get to ask what the questions you want to ask. The general admissions question, people can't ask questions. But you guys, for tonight, if you put into the coupon code MLK, Martin Luther King, because it is birthday tomorrow, let's celebrate this man's date of birth, right? MLK is the coupon code. You will get the CEO package, the $67 package for the general admissions class price of $29. But that ends tonight at midnight. So if you guys don't jump on that, you're gonna wish you had. Chris, tell them where they can find it.
The training is in the video description or in my bio. But we're gonna give you guys my contractor estimate, my construction estimator contract. It's giving you this document here, allows you to sleep at night when you hire these people. When I first started, I thought that the contractor would tell me what we would be doing on this property. But what I quickly learned is you have to go back and forth with your contractor to make sure that they cover everything: framing, plumbing, electrical, flooring, windows, roofing, siding, all that stuff. And you're going to get that with the CEO packet comes with that. And if you use the coupon code MLK, it's right in the video description. Only, y'all, since you guys join us, I'm telling you, because Dan, we put this class together. I'm like, Dan, we have to give my round up homies that join us live something. This goes away. The price changes, it goes away. In fact, the price should have been $70. We wasn't. So this is done today. This is what we want to tell you guys. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for allowing us to serve you guys. All right.
Chris, tell them where they can find the link.
It's right there. Join our content. It's in the video description right below. Okay. It's on the screen.
So guys,
right below.
Or you could go to you can bring up my website.
The bio. Yeah, the bio. Huh?
If you go to my website, danielborrerojr.com, bring it up if you don't mind.
Oh, right there.
If you go to my website, you will see there's a link to the class. It's called the guide to how to manage your contractors, right? The ultimate guide of managing your contractors. So guys, it's only $29. You're going to be in the room with Chris and I for 3 hours. You get the CEO package, which is $67. But for tonight until midnight, it's $29. If you put into the code, the coupon code is MLK, Martin Luther King. All right.
Today only. But then we're doing this, y'all. Yes, we make a few dollars, but
$29, bro, that ain't no few dollars.
Yeah, we don't make no. But I'm sick of people calling me up, Chris. I hired this guy, help me out. I'm like, it's too late. It's too late. You gotta. In fact, Dan, I'm going through this exact same thing with multiple people. I'm like, dude, you need to cut your law. There comes a point with hiring these guys. You got to just say, you know what? I am done. I know I'm going to lose money. Go, Dan.
I can't. I don't know. I've probably lost because I didn't know what I know now. God, I've had to lose at least $500,000 over all the years that I've been doing this business.
Yeah, I know I'm up to about 100.
Yeah.
Y'all, these dudes will destroy you, dog. These contractors will destroy you. They will put you on. They will bankrupt you because all they're worried about is getting their money from you and getting the most out of you. And we're worried about getting the most work. So we're going to teach you never. There's a rule when you're hiring contractors: never let the work get ahead of the money.
Never.
Never let the work. And Dan, I'm sure, Dan, you probably this was just swirling in your mind for years.
Yeah, we're going to talk about different ways. Chris does it slightly different the way I do it. I do it slightly different the way Chris does it. That's what works for Chris is what works for me. But we're going to be, after this class, without a doubt, people are going to still make mistakes. Shoot, I make mistakes sometimes.
Yeah, it still happens.
But the mistakes you make are going to be a lot less often, and they'll be a lot smaller that you'll be able to recoup from, right? I can't tell you how many people call me up for consultation and they don't even know where to start and how to get back on their feet.
You better know. Guess what?
DanielBorreroJr.com.
They're just like tennis, Dan. If you don't train your contractor, guess what your contractor is going to do?
They're going to train you. They're going to
call her.
Broke house.
You're on the line with the Chris and Dan Borrero. Please state your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, fellas. My name is Corey Kelly, and I'm calling from North Carolina, Zebulon, North Carolina.
Is that a C or a K? I don't want to spell your name wrong, dog.
Kori.
Oh, darn. I definitely would have got that one. It's almost like Chris with a K. Corey Kelly.
Right.
What up, homie? How can we serve you today? Let us happy. How can we? What do you got going on?
Well, first of all, I'm glad you guys took my call, and I've been listening to you, Chris, for quite a while now. And
thank you.
You were actually the first course that I ever bought. I bought your Section 8 course, and you're probably the only course I ever bought.
Okay, but, it's an honor to serve you, brother. Thank you. Thank you for letting me serve you.
So basically, my question tonight is, how do you guys deal with word this right, like emotion as far as selling a property that you've had for quite a while and you have long-term tenants in, and it's time to sell, but you feel bad for the tenant.
Oh shit.
I have a property in Portsmouth, North Carolina. Portsmouth, and I've had it for about 4 years, and the tenants, they don't pay as much as they should be paying. But now it feels like it's time to sell because I did a partnership with a family member, and I want to make sure they get paid, basically. But the tenants never ask for anything. They always pay it on time, and I feel bad that I want to sell it.
I love when
you guys ever calls. Feel like
I love these calls. I'm like, will you be my landlord? You know what I mean, Dad? I hear this all the time. I'm like,
you know what, Chris? I'm afraid to answer that because I may come across too hard, bro.
I'll start on this one. I'll start.
Yeah.
So Corey,
you know the way I'm going to show what my answer is going to be. Corey may not like it.
So I'm a softie. I'm an empath. I take on everybody's problems. I love to give. I'm a giver. So what I have noticed, what helps me, I take myself out of the decision-making process. Let me give you an example. Every house that I flip, I am not involved with the sales process. Let me say that again. Every house, 100%. I do not discuss sales prices with our listing broker, neither with the selling broker, the buyers. Why? Because I'm too emotional, right? I'm in there, I'm putting money together. I'm funding this thing. I'm buying. I'm good with sellers. I'm great at that. But when it comes to I'm good at buying. When it comes to selling properties, I have another person that handles all of that, Corey. And guess what? I don't got to hear nothing.
Right.
I don't got to hear nothing about it. So, Corey, I would highly, I'm not even going to suggest, but if you take you out of it and they say, Corey, don't do this, you can be like, you know what, man, I can't even, I'm not even in charge of that.
Well, I have a property manager, so I never met the people or dealt with the property anyway.
So
But I get everything you're saying, but like in my mind, I'm like, they paying on time. They never ask for any repairs like that.
why are you selling it?
And I mean, even though because I got a family member that partnered with me, and I want to pay her out because this is her first time actually investing in real estate. So I want to show her that this thing works, and you're going to get a lump sum of money at the end of it. And she's older too, so I mean, I want to go ahead and pay her out. But
What would you say?
and then on top of that, the rent, they're not where they need to be at because I got it on a low interest rate. So for me they paying $1,100 now, and for me to talk to them and tell them, look, I need $1,600 because I mean I know you probably know, Chris, the rents that you could probably get in Portsmouth or in that area of Virginia, like it's probably like $1,400-$1,500.
Ain't nothing
Anywhere around there right now.
Nothing's 1,100, zero, nothing. You can't even get a 1-bedroom for
Right.
1,100.
So Corey, I'm gonna give you my response, but I don't. This is no reflection on you, and I don't want you to take offense to it. Okay. I'm gonna give you my response basically with my landlord hat on. Right. This is my landlord hat on, not my Dan Borrero hat. This is my landlord hat. All right. First and foremost, what your interest rate and what it costs you per month is irrelevant. You should never base your rent on what it costs you. And I'll explain to you. You always base your rent on the market value. If your mortgage and taxes and insurance were $2,000, right? What's the tenant going to tell you when you tell them, listen, I got to charge you $2,000 because that's what it costs me to maintain this property? They're going to say, that's not my business. That's your business, right? Isn't that what they would say to you? That's what I would say to you. Am I lying?
Right.
Okay.
You're absolutely right.
What it costs you is irrelevant. The fact that you have a low interest rate and that, it's only costs you whatever, they need to be paying market rate. So this is what the deal is. You are subsidizing that family by $400 a month. That is $4,800 a year. Over 2 years with interest, that's $10,200. Over 4 years, right? That's $20,500, $20,800. That's what you gave away over 4 years. Can you afford to give away $2,100, $21,000? Because that's
absolutely not.
You gave away $21,000.
He could be my landlord. I'm gonna rent my next price from Corey.
Right?
Nah, because I'm about to tighten up after this.
That family $21,000 over 4 years.
Corey's my new landlord, y'all.
Did they ever send you a meal?
All right, Dan. Okay, Dan, I gotta. Corey, you get the picture.
Yeah, I get you. I get where you're coming from.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I got to put on my big boy drawers and go ahead and get it done.
You got it.
You mind if I ask you one more question, Chris?
Go for it, Corey.
You're good, brother.
Do you do anything in the Elizabeth City, North Carolina area?
Do I know? I tell everybody, I'm open for money-making opportunities where I have little to no risk. I'll just put it like that. I will go. It's an hour drive from my house. It's like 60 miles.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were familiar with that area at all. But
I'm not like dying to go to Elizabeth City, but I will. I mean, it's only an hour down there. So yeah, I'm open, brother. Anything that makes money, I've got little to no risk. I've got a video coming out soon to help us understand how to borrow money and bring money guys in. So as long as you got me at below market value, you got experts running the job, I'm open.
Okay. That's good to know, man. I appreciate you guys taking my call.
Thank you, Corey.
Great talking to you guys.
God bless you. See you soon. See you at the class this Saturday.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I got you.
All right, y'all. The CONtractor class is open right now. We'll keep taking calls, but if you use the code MLK, you can get the VIP only for today. Only for my homies that are coming in today. My people that support the Roundup channel as we come over.
We have on here, Chris, right now.
40 plus IGs, 10. We have 55 people coming in for no.
So right now I don't understand why all 55 people ain't on here. 55 people should be purchasing this program. Scroll down, Chris. Chris and I have put together, and go to the top, Chris, if you don't mind. We put together something that is unbelievable for only $29. You're going to learn how to manage your contractor, how to find that contractor, how to negotiate with that contractor, how to determine if that contractor is skilled enough for that job, or does that contractor have the right reputation to even be allowed to be on your property, right? We're going to be talking about how do you control the money so that the work never gets behind the money that you have into the property.
It's an art to that.
Right?
It's an art to that, Dan. There's an art to that.
That's only now. Scroll down, Chris. If you go for tonight only until midnight. If you put it, scroll down, Chris. If you go and you type
accept, press 1 to send a voice.
Caller, hold 1 second.
The coupon code is MLK. Martin Luther King. MLK. You will get the CEO package for the price of the general admission, which is only $29. But that's only good until tonight, midnight. It ends. So, if I don't see 30, 40 people grabbing onto this, shame on you guys, because, you're going to be missing an incredible opportunity to be in the room with us for 3.5 hours on Saturday.
Dan, they could just they could do it on their own. They could hire the next contractor on their own. I would love to see
They can, and they can lose all the money that you and I lost. Trying to learn.
I promise you don't want to do
$29.
Can you imagine that, Dan?
Yeah,
Caller,
guys, you can go to DanielBorreroJr.com.
Yep, DanielBorreroJr.com, or the links in the video description right below, y'all, or both of our bios. Caller, you're on the line with Chris and Dan. Please state your name and where you're calling from.
What's going on, guys? This is Tyler from Baltimore.
Nice to meet you, Tyler.
You got snow up there?
Hey, likewise. Oh, it's coming down, that's for sure. Got some contractors in today before it came down, but I'm relatively new to the world. To the real estate world. I'm working on my primary residence on a 203K loan. So that's got its own issues, but I've got the contractors coming in, headaches with that with the general contractor. But I'm also working on a duplex at the same time, which is more of the investment, but I'm open to a lot of things. But first question.
2 construction sites going at the same time? You got 2 sites at the same time?
It happens. The duplex is with a partner, though.
Don't matter. You're doing it, man. Congratulations.
Man. You're brave.
Congratulations.
Boy. You're brave, man.
It's a lot.
Tyler, what you got going on?
My first question is, I'm unavailable on Saturday. I'd like to join, but I won't be there. Will it be a replay or a way to kind of have it?
If you get the CEO package, type in the coupon code MLK, and you'll get the recording of it.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I won't be able to ask any questions, but I can at least have the replay. And I just tuned in kind of late, but are there PowerPoints included, or is it a recorded video mostly?
Yes.
Recorded video. It's all video. You're gonna get my construction estimator contract. It's got all. It's an Excel sheet. You type everything in, calculate it all up for you. You're gonna get all of Dan's complete PowerPoint stuff. So yeah, it's worth.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can get the CEO
all right. Well, then yeah,
package
basically,
$29.
Got it. All right. I'll be on that. So I guess my questions at the moment are just open-ended, really, because I'm new to it all, but learning. So I'm trying to find just some workers off Craigslist from time to time, just for some little small jobs, because a lot of the bigger guys, they want like the full day. They want.
Did we lose them?
A job over here, so I just need people to come out for like a few hours for a few jobs, which will be an hourly kind of pay, but it seems tough to get those kind of people out. So I want to know with your all's experience with just kind of small touch-up jobs here and there. I don't have the Rolodex yet. I don't have the go-to guys yet. I'm kind of sifting through the Craigslist people. So I'm at that point. So I guess what would be your advice with that?
Let me ask you a question. Give me an example of what type of job that consists of. Like, what is it that you want what is it that you want to get done?
So like this past week on one house, I did have, like a toilet valve leaking, which happened as a result of them redoing the flooring and just a powder room. But then after they redid the flooring, the valve started leaking. So they had to come back for that kind of deal. And then at the same time, they were doing some insulation. So just kind of touch up things like that. Nothing major, not like a major roof or anything like that, or major plumbing overhauls or ripping drywall or none of that. Just kind of more maintenance-y stuff. And then at the same time, I had the same guy and another guy on a different property doing some flooring, just laying down some plywood. You know, maybe that's considered a little more intermediate. I don't know. But I don't know, just things that I feel like people that may not have their license yet could go for it, but then the guys with the license want to do a full bid on a full project. They don't want to waste their time doing smaller kind of one-day jobs. Does that answer your question?
It does. I'm going to tell you one of the things that I've learned and I've done over the years. Now, this is not going to help you right now, but it's something you want to keep in the back of your head.
Okay.
I take care of let's say the plumber comes over. He comes with a helper. I'll go if I see that helper is really cool and that plumber's cool, I'm going to go buy them lunch. And then I'm going to tell, especially if they're licensed plumbers, they don't like to work on the weekends. I'll ask that plumber. Actually, my guy that I use after hours and on the weekends, this is how I got him. I was like, hey, plumber, I'll make up the name Jack Smith on the weekends. Do you mind if you don't work on the weekends? He says, no, I don't have a problem with that. Just as long as you don't interfere with him during the day, Monday through Friday from 8 to 4.
So the company is weekdays, weekends is him by himself. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Not only that, he'll do a job for me similar to what you just said at 4:30, 5 o'clock. Now, because it seems to me you're looking for somebody just to do some small stuff, for a couple hours, and you don't want to pay for the whole day. Now, until you start developing those relationships, right? And you will develop those relationships. If you're fixing your house and doing a multifamily at the same time, you will start having these relationships within the next few weeks. What's going to happen is, a lot of times, I'll give you another instance. I've hired the supers of another building on my block because I see them up and down the street all day long, or working or bringing up material. I said, listen, what kind of work do you do? Oh, I do painting. I'll do plywood. I do minor plumbing. What kind of minor plumbing? I'll change toilets. I'll change faucets. I'll change the toilet valve. All right. What are you doing in this building right now? Oh, I'm doing the apartment. I'm doing a turnover for the landlord. Can I look at what you're doing right now? And now I go into that building. And I'm seeing the quality of work that he's doing, whether it's be painting, whatever it is. I'm looking to see if the job site's clean. I'm looking to see if he's got his pants hanging down to his knees. Right? If he's dragging his feet and his heels touching the back of the floor, I don't want him. He's a lazy son of a bitch. He's going to take forever. So these are the things that we're looking for. If you want to find people to do those little jobs and just within a couple hours of work.
I appreciate that. Yeah. If I meet someone in person, absolutely. Actually, someone saw me struggling putting a dresser in my house, and they were working across the street, just like you said. And they saw me and they said, do you need a hand? I went, yeah, I'll take a hand. And then we started talking. I said, are you working over there? He said, yeah, I do work for the landlord across the street. And I got his number and talked to him. So that might be exactly that. But I guess more so the Craigslist, like blind kind of don't know them, gonna give them a shot kind of deal. Have you done that, or would you stay away from that?
I have. I would say most of the time it didn't work out very well for me. Sometimes I got lucky. Most of the time it didn't work out very well for me.
But Tyler, when you hire, let's say you do pay, sometimes at the end of the day, Tyler, what I've learned is you got to kind of pay to play. So there's a plumbing company we use. I'm sure Dan got companies, and then when the guy, you start seeing them, you hire them a couple of times, then you ask them as they're coming, like, hey, you come over and do this thing for me. I haven't not yet met a guy say, I don't want to do that. Who doesn't want to make extra money doing the same shit you was doing for the job? Making more money than you working for the company. I would much rather prefer, because Craigslist, dude, they can come back and rob you. I mean, you don't know, man. It's so.
Tyler, the other thing I'm gonna tell you is there are REIA groups up in Baltimore where you're at. You need to go to those REIA group meetings. Talk to other real estate investors that are there. Hey, who do you use for this? Who do you use for that?
That's true.
They don't share. They're tight-lipped about absolutely everything.
You got to find the right guys.
I'd be surprised. if Chris and I are there, I'm going to share it with you. I don't care.
You got to find the right guys. You're right, though. Dan, he is right. The majority of people ain't going to share it, but you got to just keep asking.
Look, I don't.
Oh, I know. I'm a talkative guy. I'll find out. But yeah, it's kind of annoying talking to those investors who think they're cooler than they are and they don't want to share. But I get what you're saying. I do go to the meetings when I can.
I can tell you, I share. I'll give out my plumber's number, my electrician's number. But you know what they all know? They all know this. When I call you, no one's job goes ahead of my job, because then you'll never get another job.
All right.
So, they could share.
Yep.
But it depends on the relationship they have.
Anything else you got, Tyler?
Yeah, I appreciate all this so far. I know I could talk for hours, but I want to respect the time. I guess lastly, as far as price and pay, with contractors kind of maybe getting a little cocky or leaning or maybe fibbing on some numbers, how do you kind of keep them straight and be respectful at the same time in the same conversation when there's a discrepancy in numbers or pay rate or hours?
There shouldn't be a discrepancy if you have a contract that's written out properly. Like, when you have a contract, even within the scope of work, you should even have which material they're going to be using.
What type of discrepancy you talk about, Tyler? Because it's all usually we have it in writing.
Yeah, exactly. Like when before the job starts and you're talking about it, and there seems to just be either they want more money than you're willing to pay, or they think it's going to take longer, or they say it's going to take longer than you think it should, but you want to have them do the work, but they just seem to be either padding the numbers.
Then you got to get more estimates.
You got to be willing to walk away.
That
is a problem, though, Tyler. You use a guy for 3 years. You just keep padding you. You got to show him that, look, I'm not willing to keep paying this. You're going to have to be willing.
Tyler, I got to, just in short, because we got to take other calls. Yeah. Understand this. Every relationship has an expiration date.
Dan said that many times.
I don't care what the relationship is, right? It could even be you and your wife, right? Even if you stay together until one of you die. When one of you die, that means that was the date that the relationship expired, right? So with contractors, there's an expiration date. I've been very fortunate to have a lot of good contractors, but the longest person that I've ever had work for me was 7 years. Eventually, things happen in life, whether they get divorced, they get sick, they want to move to another state, they want to start doing what you do because you made it look so easy, right? Tyler, or sometimes they just get too comfortable and think that you need them, and that's why you always got to keep.
Tyler needs me. He can't get this job done without me.
Right.
You need me more than I need you.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good to have the Rolodex, that's for sure. But I appreciate it, guys. That makes a lot of sense, Dan. Thanks for taking the call.
All right, Tyler. Take care. See you in class. Oh, we get the recording for you. Guys, we got calls coming in. Good gracious, we can't take them all, Dan. I can't get them all in. Listen, class starts.
Yeah, let's do this one more time.
Class starts this weekend. You can join. The video description is right below, y'all. We're going to teach you how to find the best contractor, and more importantly, how to get the numbers right and how to manage the contractor so he doesn't try to destroy your career like they did for Dan and I. Dan, I wish we had time. We'll have to tell them our horror stories when we get in class on the weekend.
Yeah.
I've already heard Dan, so
I almost went bankrupt because of a contract. 2 contractors. But if I saw them today, it would take everything within me not to run them over with my truck. I had to sell both my cars and start using the Iron Horse, the New York City transit system, just for 5 years.
And did they care, Dan?
Nope.
They don't give a hill of beans about taking your last penny.
Nope.
And don't give them money until the job's done. We're going to go over how you pay these people. Like when I was starting out, I would pay them. I'm like, I hope they're going to finish. Yeah. Did they finish? No.
You know what? Go to the top of the page. I want to show them what they're going to get for those people that just came on. The reality is this. You're going to go scroll down. There you go. This is what you guys are going to get for $29. Where to start gathering and finding these contractors, how to find those contractors, right? How to verify whether their skill set is up to par with the quality of work you're looking for. What questions you should be asking, what response you should be getting, right? How to compare the estimates, how to write an estimate, how to evaluate an estimate, how to negotiate the final deal, right?
You better know what you're doing.
Most importantly, how to literally hold on to the money where you don't let the money get ahead of the work. But most importantly, MLK, that's the coupon code. Scroll down if you don't mind, Chris. So when you're
1
buying
second, call.
tonight, and this is only good until midnight tonight, guys. When you're buying this tonight, you're gonna get this. You could get the CEO package, which is $67, where you will get the actual video recording of this class, in addition to being able to come 30 minutes sooner, and you'll be able to ask the questions. The people with general admissions will not ask questions. The people with the CEO packages will. Okay, so it's only going to be $29, the CEO package tonight only, in celebration of Martin Luther King's birthday tomorrow. And that's good until midnight tonight. All you got to type into is MLK. You can go to the descriptions on the bottom, or you could just go to my website, danielborrerojr.com.
Go to Dan's site, or it's right below. Just click the little link. If it's not there, just refresh your screen. All right. Since Dan, what's the temperature up there?
Man, I don't know, but when I was out earlier, it was biting.
You can't pay me to live in the city no more, man. I lived in Jersey I was in North Bergen. That was the first time
I have property there.
Huh?
I have property in that area.
That was the first time I went to my car, and I tried to open the door, and the shit was frozen. I'm like, I ain't cut out for this. I'm like,
people coming out with a pot of hot water, putting it alongside the car door. The car door open.
Hey, caller, you're on the line with Chris and Dan. Please state your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, Chris. Hey, Dan. It's your girl, Deborah Jackson from Willingboro, New Jersey. How are you?
How are you, Deborah Jackson?
Hey, Deborah, what's going on?
A lot.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I don't know if you guys heard, but I just watched a news report of people going in and doing quick claim deeds and robbing people of their homes and their equity. Have you heard about that?
I've heard it's fraudulent. Yes, fraud. I had a friend that somebody attempted to do that with them on.
I don't know.
So how do you protect them from that?
Deborah, I don't know anyone who's lost their house because of that.
They can try.
But I personally, but I do know of a person who had like 8 houses, an investor, and someone did that with all 8 houses. But what was crazy is that, so one of the things I do is I actually have one of the people in my office check the deeds online every 3 months.
Okay.
That's okay. Well, there is a way. I don't talk about it a lot. I'm gonna say it here, and I'm not gonna say it again frequently. You can put some debt on all your houses, so you can foreclose on yourself if somebody tries to get your deed. I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want to really go too deep into that strategy. You with me on that?
Okay. Yeah, I heard you.
Chris, that's pretty damn smart. I may think about that myself. I'm gonna have one of my companies put debt on on the other company. Meanwhile, it's one hand goes to the other.
I don't like talking about it because that's like a super high level advanced strategy, and I don't like people.
Chris, you gave me that idea. I think I may do that.
So, Deborah, you can do that. That's the only way.
Yeah.
If the Dan checked the TD, but that's not gonna change the fact that they did it. You found out it's somebody else's name, but once it's done, you got to unwind it. And the judges, they ain't stupid. They're gonna look at the deed. They're gonna see that you didn't sign it, and so it may take a few dollars to unwind, but it's possible.
Okay, because I said that's something that's crazy. It's starting to pick up, and I just wanted to know how to protect myself from that.
That's not start. I think it's starting to get publicized, but it's been going on for years.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So I did sign up. So I'm looking forward to the class tomorrow.
Cool. It's Saturday. Class Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Saturday. I'm rushing the days. Sorry.
All right. Thank you, Deborah.
All right. See you soon.
All right. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Good night. We had another call in, Chris?
We do. I got about 7 other calls, man. Y'all get signed up for the class. The link is in the video description. We'll keep taking calls because tomorrow's MLK Day. I want to celebrate the man's legacy. As I think about him, and I think about what he did, as I was listening to Malcolm and I listened to Martin as a young man, Malcolm can really bring you to the side of trying to look at Martin as a punk, and you swirl that around, and then you look at Martin and he wanted to be nonviolent, but then you look at the Martin later, and he was strictly about strictly economics, and in fact they were planning a march on the
To accept, press 1. To send a
on the airport when they check them out. Caller, you're on the line with Chris and Dan. What's going on? Please state your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Alice Flanders, and I am calling from Lewiston, Maine.
Oh my Lord.
Alice, how are you?
From Maine. I know that name. Alice, I got to do a consultation with you.
Yeah.
Hey.
I've interacted with you.
What's going on?
And I joined your group.
Alice, please tell me you are staying warm in Maine.
Well, I can tell you, a couple days ago I woke up and it was 60 degrees in the house.
Oh.
What degrees was it in the house?
So I called the oil company.
Oh, you got oil.
Well, I've got both a heat pump and a furnace, but when it's 1 degree, the heat pump isn't that happy about it.
They sell heat pumps.
So I called the oil company. Yeah.
What they doing?
And it's good, except when it gets like 1 degree outside. And I have a boiler, and the pipe taking the water to the boiler had a stuck valve in it, so the boiler didn't have any water in it.
Oh my Lord.
I haven't got the bill yet. I don't know how much I'm going to be paying the guy.
Oh my God, Alice, I'm going to pray for you.
I feel bad for you, Alice. What's your question, Alice?
But that wasn't my question.
All right.
That was my answer to your comment.
Okay. What you got?
Okay. Basically, I managed to get through finally. I'm very interested in doing that program he's got next weekend because
Contract mastery.
I don't have any family. I don't have too many friends, and the only ones I know that know how to do anything have a tendency to do substandard jobs and charge me 15 times what you normally would pay for it.
Welcome to the business.
Welcome to the business.
You know, I got my place appraised last year. I had paid $3,000 to have a roof replaced on a porch. The roof was 6 feet by 8 feet, and it didn't pass the appraisal.
Oh, they didn't do it right.
The guy who had done it was at the house. I told him to go out and talk to the guy. The guy says, I've been doing roofing for 19 years. The guy says, well, yeah, you've been doing it wrong for 19 years. Anyway, but
so
I've been interacting with houses now for 54 years. I've done my share of things wrong, and then I have to wait 20 years or 10 years before I could get back into things again. I was 74 the day after Christmas, and I'm not giving up yet.
I love it.
Happy belated birthday. I love to see my ladies in there, especially my elders that can pass that wisdom down.
Yes, without a doubt.
I plead guilty to being a lady.
You're a mess.
Alice, what's your question?
Hey.
I don't think she had a
question.
Okay,
my question basically is hopefully going to be answered next weekend.
Okay.
About how to find appropriate contractors and things like that.
We'll do it then.
Yeah, we're gonna cover that in depth on how to find those contractors, where to find those contractors, everything about dealing with the contractor. And we decided to do this because essentially I can't get over how many calls Chris and I get.
I'm sick of the phone call. I'm sick of this with people.
About these low life
contractors. The thing is, those of us who don't have the contacts, we either have to live without whatever it is being done, or we have to take our chances on getting cheated. And there really should be some organizations out there that have a list of these people are reputable contractors.
It's true.
We're gonna be sharing those as well. next
So
week.
I'm real interested in things like that. And the other thing is what I did years ago, and I'm not going to do it exactly the same way, but similar ideas. I live in Maine. Maine is a low-income state. There are a lot of houses that are, it's not, well, you fix it up and then the bank will give you a loan on it. There's a lot of places a bank isn't going to give you a loan on it, no matter what you do, unless you tear it down and start over again. But there are people who'd like a house, who don't want to rent for the rest of their life, that would love this place. And I'm not talking about getting it, fixing it up, and then selling it to the person. I'm talking about finding the place, finding the person who wants the place, and helping them fix it up.
Okay, that's a possibility. It's possible. We can get into that in class. We can talk about that stuff.
That's really what I want to get into. Like I said, I've done my share of screw ups. I've also got people living in houses I sold them 50 years ago, and they're still there.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to be
If you
covering
remember
all
me,
that.
if you remember me, I'm the one with the tires.
With the tires. What is that one? I don't get that one.
Okay. I will give you something you can look up online so you know I'm telling the truth. Anyway, I ended up with this old farmhouse, and my husband left me, so I moved out of town. I rented the place for a year. First year went fine. Second year, people got into drugs. They broke all the windows, urinated and defecated through the building, and I had 5,000 tires in the backyard.
That happens.
Oh,
Eric, who's one of the ones I sold to, calls me up and says, Alice, you better go look at North Norway. And I said, I can go down this weekend. I said, now. So I drove to North Norway, and I started crying. I mean, it was a beautiful place. You should have seen it. And what in fucking hell am I going to do about this mess? And he said, I've got a friend, Aaron Fuda, who wants to buy it. How fast do you think I said yes?
Ready to go.
So I sold Aaron the property. He took over my loan at the bank. He's still there. He used to sell marijuana before it was legal in Maine. And whenever anybody went to buy any marijuana off of him, they had to take 2 tires.
Oh, okay.
He got rid of 6,000 tires free. And if you look up Fuda Fest, FUDAFEST online, you'll see what I'm talking about.
All right. Alice, we got another callers coming.
Well, we'll talk to you on next week.
We talk
Right.
to you next
I don't
week.
want to waste any more of your time.
All right. Much
Yep, bye.
love. Thanks for your support.
Thank you, Alice.
So if you buy some of this herb, you got to take some tires with you.
Listen, guys, look, at the end of the day,
Got to get it done.
the truth is that, I remember my brother and I, we bought a house, and a beautiful house. We bought it on the tax. It was on the courthouse steps. You couldn't go in. And when we went in, all the walls were out. And the only thing there was pieces of cars, including chassis and motors and transmissions and doors. We didn't know what to do. I mean, these are the things that we encounter in this business. But Chris, let's go over. You brought this up. You want to go over this one more time?
We can't call her. Hold on 1 second, please. We just want to remind everybody that you're getting 1 day deal, y'all. How to find. This is teaching you how to master the art of finding, and not only finding, but managing your contractor. Okay, the management is the key. You can find them, can you keep them? But then you got to make sure, how much do you give them? Do you show up with X amount of dollars? Do you pay them before this is done? How do you know when to pay them? So we want y'all to be able to sleep at night. Really, what this is about, being able to sleep at night. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's funny. It's not. I don't think it's just about managing the contractor. The first step is the hardest part is finding the right contractor, right?
Well, once you find them, you got to figure out how you're going to pay them.
Yep. So
because they're going to want all the money up front.
What they're going to get next week, guys. This is only going to be $29. You're going to learn literally how to find that contractor, where to look for that contractor, where to find that contractor, what questions you should be asking that contractor, what kind of what kind of responses you should expect, including their body language when they're telling you or responding to you, right? How to overlook the estimates, how to manage the money, which material you should be getting, why that material is so imperative should be as well in the estimate, right? The scope of work, right? Chris is going to be giving you his contractor's contract that he uses. right?
Yep.
I'll scroll down to the bottom. Now, for tonight only, up until midnight, the general admissions ticket is $29. This is going to be via Zoom next week on Saturday. But the CEO package, you'll get everything you get with the general admissions package. But with the CEO package, you also get to ask questions, right? Plus, you'll be able to come on 30 minutes earlier than everyone else. In addition, you'll also get the copy of the recording of that class, the entire class. So if you want to literally learn how to do this business the right way and how to manage your contractor,
Don't
how
get
not
broke
to get
like
robbed
us.
by your contractor, how to find that contractor, how to negotiate that contractor, how to manage the money with that contractor, right? You can go to the description below and hook up there, link up there, or you go to danielborrerojr.com. And when you're there, please type in MLK, Martin Luther King. We are celebrating Martin Luther King's birthday this weekend. Tomorrow's his birthday. So until tonight, if you type in MLK until midnight, you will get the CEO package for the price of the regular admissions package. So
This is going away.
I hope to see you guys on there. When we get off of this, I hope to see a lot of people take advantage of this opportunity.
Caller, you on the line with Chris and Dan. State your name and where you calling from.
This is Don from Rochelle, New York. How you doing, Chris and Dan?
How are you?
My frozen brother.
Doing well. yeah. We're getting some snow out here.
Yeah. Hey,
I
Don, what you got?
Yeah, man. Appreciate you guys for giving me the opportunity to lodge on your platform, and I'm glad that you guys have the course because I definitely need that course. So I have a up, and I've been renovating this thing for about 2 years.
Hold on, you broke up, Don. Don, you broke up. Start over. I'm sorry.
Oh, you can hear me.
Gotcha.
All right. Yeah. So I have this 3-unit up in Albany, and I've been renovating this project for like 2 years. It's been tough, right? It's been a tough journey, and it's mainly with a plumber. Finding a licensed plumber up in Albany, it's been really rough. So, looking for the insight, man, I've been blowing through a lot of fun doing this renovation. So, as I said, that course will be beneficial. So, as I said, I had plumbers stole like $7,000 from me. So, right now, I'm trying to figure out how to get through this project. I'm really about 90% through. It's just now I need a plumber, a licensed plumber, actually, because it's downtown Albany. So the plumbing situation there is very tough. So I need a licensed plumber to finish out. But, my question is to you guys, how I go about finding a licensed plumber, because I've been calling from the city of Albany. They provide a list with about 100 plumbers, and it's like no one wants to work in that area, or the project is too overwhelming for them. So trying to get some insight.
Project's too overwhelming. What's the project like? Tell me.
So it's about 15 fixtures. So it's 4 bathrooms. It's 4 bathrooms, and it's 2 kitchens. It's a 4-level unit, but it's 2 units. So you have
just
4.
Ask you some questions, okay, Don? When you say overwhelming, did they bring in new sewer lines and feed lines from the street?
Say that again.
Was there new plumbing brought in from the street, the waste lines and the feed lines from the street? Did you break up the street?
No, it was existing. Yeah, it was existing plumbing coming in from the street. So we didn't touch the feed line. It's just
Okay. Did you redesign the apartments in the buildings? Did you move one room to another? Did you do anything like that?
Well, we had an architectural plan. We didn't move any lines, but we replaced the entire plumbing stack because it was galvanized pipe and it had a bunch of leaks. So we did the entire plumbing over. So we did a full rough. Yeah, we replumbed the entire stack from the plumbing coming from inside. We didn't do anything outside, just from inside all the way up.
What about the water lines, the hot and cold waters? Did you replumb that too?
Yes. So yes, all new, right? Yes, all new water heater. So tankless water heater. 2 tankless.
We will provide you that information on Saturday. because to give you in order to give you some justice, it would take at least 15 to 20 minutes just for your situation, and it wouldn't be fair to
Right.
on here. But
Exactly.
Join us on Saturday. We're going to be covering that same exact situation.
Dan's your guy. For you. Dan lives and eats and sleeps that
All
stuff.
right, perfect. I appreciate you guys.
All right, Don.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. So I'll see you guys on Saturday.
Okay, I appreciate your support.
Don, you may want to come and if you get the CEO package, and you should, because it's going to cost you the same thing as the general admissions tonight.
Right.
You come on 30 minutes before everyone else. So anyone with the CEO package, you should ask us that question in the beginning of the day.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks,
we'll do.
Okay.
I'll make sure I get that CEO package. All right.
All right, brother. Dan, that's right up your alley.
Yeah.
He could book a consult. That is a good point. To book a consultation. He'll have Don. You have an opportunity to do that when you upon checkout too. But Dan. I feel like I got a broken record playing in my mind. Just everybody. It's the same thing. Can't find this. Can't find that. And there's no disrespect to anybody. It's just is this just a rite of passage you got to go through?
Yeah, man. I mean, think about it. I mean, the only difference is that rite of passage doesn't have to be as damaging for people today, because
they got you.
Right. Well, they have you, they have me, they have so many other people online that are teaching you how to do this business. You don't have to suffer the way we suffered. You don't.
Y'all hear that? Take this class, you don't have to suffer like we did. That's the truth. Caller, you're on the line with Chris and Dan. Please state your name and where you're calling from.
James and Danny from St. Louis.
Hey, Chris and Dan.
How are you guys doing?
Fine. Hey, just checking in. We'll let you guys know that we did sign up for the contractors class, and also we signed up for the tenant class, but I haven't heard any feedback yet.
That's a waiting list. That's a waiting list. But we've actually put together. Yeah, everything is ready to go. We just have to decide on a date, and then we'll be reaching out to you.
Okay, just want to make sure we didn't miss it. Also, the contractors class. Now we signed up last night, but for 67, did we get to 29?
Oh Lord. Hook him up. We'll hook you up.
Just you know what? Do me a favor, because you have my email address. Send me the name that you signed up with, and I'll make sure Allison sends you back that refund.
Okay.
Or
bless your heart.
Okay.
You can bless Dan, because we do this. We working hard, but either way, we'll get you straight.
You know what?
That's what we gonna do.
You guys keep that.
Did you see my text? I mean, my chat in the chat when
I said
it didn't hurt to ask, but we love you guys.
Okay.
You guys are marvelous and wonderful.
Hey, Chris, you didn't answer our email about St. Louis. We want to hook up.
Yeah, my team gave me that. I've had a sick kid in my house for about a week and a half, but no excuses.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But real quick, Dan, we had talked to you before about problems we having with the municipalities where we live at. They were charging $300 per door per year. You remember that?
Yep. I remember.
Okay,
And I remember what I told you. You got to add that. Now you got to add that to the increase of rent.
We did, but I'm gonna tell you what's going on now. So the other municipality where we have a property, they have concerns too, but they went about it the smart way.
Right.
They charge you $35 per year for a license, a renter's license, a landlord's license, but they have a free class where they say about crime prevention around your property. So they have a police officer doing it, and then they talk about how to protect yourself against crime by screening your tenants the right way.
Yeah.
And they had an attorney to come in and talk about that section also, which I thought was great, where you had asked questions to an attorney who dealt in that area, as opposed to just slapping a bunch of money on the landlords and kicking them down the road.
Now, to me, that's a responsible municipality. They're charging you $35.
Right.
Also educating you, right?
I like that.
But most importantly, you know what you guys didn't mention that I'm a little surprised, because you've been coming to my class. What did you not mention about going to those classes? You don't know.
Oh, about making connections.
That's right.
Networking.
Everybody there's a homeowner.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody there's a landlord.
Yeah, yeah. We made some connections now.
Yeah,
we did make
we
some
talked
connections.
to some property managers, and well, we were just getting some feedback. Maybe we can get connection where they know somebody that's selling the property.
Right.
And I spoke with somebody else about 80 years old. They was thinking about selling the property, so we talked to them also. So yeah,
Loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it.
Good job, y'all.
Congratulations.
It was good. I didn't want to go to the class, but I was so glad we went.
okay. Well, we want to let you guys go so you can talk to other people. So we'll talk to you later.
Love you guys.
Much
Bye-bye.
love to you. All right. I tell you, man, this is just some great people on here, man. I like talking to them. They're cool. Hey, Dan.
Want to take one more call, Chris?
Yeah, let's keep going. It's MLK tomorrow. I am working, but I am going to do a little bit of family stuff tomorrow. So
I'm
get your
actually
question.
tomorrow night. I'm going to be speaking tomorrow afternoon from 11 to 2 for those of you in the New York area. Jude Bernard asked me to speak at the Brooklyn Bank for MLK.
I saw that.
And, you know, he always gets about 200 people in that room.
Yeah, he's going to be going crazy.
And including Welby. So if anybody, you know, that's also in my sign up for that. It's free.
That's in your bio too. Caller, you're on the line with Chris and Dan. Please state your name and where you're calling from.
Hello, my name's Tim Whalen, and I'm from Kentucky.
Tim.
Nice to meet you, Tim.
Kentucky.
Nice meeting you guys. I'm excited to be on here with you guys. I watch you guys all the time. Been a real inspiration to me.
Wow, that's cool, man. That's an honor, brother. Thank you so much. What you got going on,
no
Tim?
problem at all. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
I typed in. Oh goodness. So I typed in a question. I'm owner of Whalen Enterprises, and I was wondering how you guys would handle selling a duplex owner financing.
Oh, wait.
Or would you do it?
I see it right there. Would I do it? Absolutely. Go ahead, Dan. I'll let Dan. Shit. Heck yeah, that's the only way I do it.
I don't do owner financing on fixtures, meaning like condos.
Why not, Dan?
Houses, because I could take that money and flip it 10, 20 times over.
Yeah, but
so my situation is an opportunity cost to it. However, when it comes to
about owning it outright, though.
Yeah, no. I will do. Are you saying that you want to sell it owner financing or buy it owner financing?
I want to sell it owner financing. It's been kind of a headache.
All right, Tim.
But I want to try to get as much as I can out of it.
So, Tim, it depends on what you're going to do with the money, right? So let's say I'm going to retire. I don't want to deal with real estate anymore. I'm going to owner finance everything I sell because I don't want to be the landlord side of the business no more. But if I'm going to take that money and I can flip that money 20, 30 times in the same time that I'm doing the owner financing, then I'm not going to do owner financing. So it all depends on what time, what period in your life you're in. That's number one. What stage you are within your career, right? Do you have those opportunities? Have you generated those opportunities? Have you increased your network so that you have those opportunities to flip that money? Now, when it comes to land, that I will owner finance all day long, right? But when it comes to fixtures, my other concern is, especially if people are using it as their primary home, it's more difficult to foreclose on them. You can get them out, depending on the state. In Kentucky, it's a lot easier to get a person out for foreclosure than it would be in New York City. If you tell me owner financing anything in New York City, even a piece of land, I'm going to say absolutely not, because I'll be in court for 7 years, right? So it all depends where you're at in your life, what area the property's in, and it also depends, on what
year. And it's been a headache. I bought it with tenants, and the first tenant didn't pay me a drop of rent for 3 months, and then I had to evict her. The second tenant, after the lease was up, she asked for an extension, and she moved out, so she was going to clean it and didn't. So
what do you mean? You just talking about regular people? These are regular tenants.
They're just regular people, regular tenants. The second lady that left, she paid her rent on time, actually paid early, was the ideal tenant when it came to payments. But after I've seen her living conditions, that was
Nasty.
not the best.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Tim.
Yeah.
Dan says, I wanna expand on what Dan said. Where you are in life, what are you gonna do with the money?
Uh-huh.
That's true also. However, for me, I want to add to that your skill set, right? I want to talk about your skill set. So
Okay.
for us, I'm seller financing my houses, and I got lands of credit on them too. So I got all
Okay.
the money. I'm getting a down
Right.
payment. I'm doing no repairs, and I'm getting monthly payment. So I just want to make sure that, because when Dan speaks, both of us have different. I'm telling you though, we got completely different ways we do it. I'm putting a private lender on that house on the first deed of trust. I got a line of credit. I got all the money. I ain't worried about the money because I got
Right.
access to it whenever I want it. You with me on that? So
Yeah.
I don't know your.
Yeah.
I want to tell your skill.
Well, I've only been CEO for 2 years of this company. This company's very new.
Okay.
And I actually got started because my wife showed me you on YouTube.
Wow.
And
Can somebody tell my? Can she talk to my wife, man? Tell her we're all. Me and Dan are actually okay.
I'm telling you, man, one of my goals in life, and this is not to butter you all up, but I do want to meet you guys. I really enjoy watching you guys on television, and I play your videos. I play Dan's videos on my way to work. I'm trying to get as much knowledge as I can. As a matter of fact, my wife is telling me for my anniversary present, she's going to buy the class for me. So,
oh wow! Congratulations, man. That's good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm happy.
Well, let me ask you, Tim, which class you buying? The ultimate landlord class or the construction class?
The landlord class.
Well, we haven't announced. We haven't reached. You put yourself on the mailing list. On the waiting list. I hope. But one of the things.
Chris, no, I have not yet.
You need to do that quickly because one of the things Chris and I were thinking of doing is like we're gonna have a party at the end of it.
Oh my
Lord. Okay.
We're gonna have a party. So even you could come from Kentucky for a night and hang out.
NYC.
Yeah. Come on. Okay. That sounds great. That sounds great. My wife, she's from up north. She's from Connecticut. So
she's right there.
I've been in. Oh yeah. I've been to NYC several times.
Okay. You don't want to miss
All right,
this.
so I hope to see you there. Make sure you put yourself on the waiting list because that waiting list is filling up. Chris, you want to put that up too?
I'll put that in the video description too, Tim, so you can. Darn, I forgot about the waiting list for that.
Or Tim, you can go to my website, DanielBorrerojr.com,
it's on there too,
and the link is on there to sign
Daniel
up.
Borrero Jr. That's his site, right?
Okay.
All right, Tim. Good talking to you.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Good night. Thank you. I said one more question, but let's do another one, Chris.
Yeah, what else you got to do, Dan? You ain't got nothing
man,
to do.
My throat is killing me. Like I said, I've been in bed all day, man. It's
60 people on here,
and I have to speak tomorrow at the Martin Luther King event at the Brooklyn Bank, which is going to be in Brooklyn, New York. For those of you that are interested, it's the Brooklyn Bank. It's on DeKalb Avenue in Brooklyn. It's free to attend. It's absolutely free. They're going to be incredible speakers there. Incredible. It's all about educating people for free, taking control of your life. Not only about real estate, but there's going to be an insurance person there, finance person there speaking.
1 second, caller.
So, join us tomorrow. It's from 11 to 2 tomorrow in the Brooklyn Bank.
1 second, caller. I'm trying to get you. We having a little, I don't know why this thing. Caller, can you hear me? All right, hold up. We can't hear you. 1 second. I got a slight issue here. 1 second.
We got to get a new tech guy.
You're right. You should. Can you fire me? I would love to be fired because I don't know how to.
It's funny, man. He was saying how his wife thought so highly of you, right? And I was like, I knew exactly what was going through your head. He was like, "Can you tell my wife who I am?"
Hey, caller, can you call right back? This ain't working, man. I'm sorry. I can't get you on here. All right. I don't know why this thing's not working.
My wife brings me back down to reality.
Yeah, come get these socks off the floor.
Yeah.
Why is this thing not working?
Anybody else have a question? Give it to us, guys.
Dan, when you talked about that party, that is really big, man, because I didn't even thought about doing something that big.
Yeah. But wasn't it a good idea?
That was a good idea.
Yeah.
I can't get them on. They ain't working.
All right. Anyone? You can't get
They're
anyone
using
on?
right now. I can't get them. 1 second, brother. I'm trying to get you on here. It's just not working. I'm going to put them up to the... this is going to be real ghetto. Caller, you're on the line with Chris and Dan. State your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, Chris and Dan. This is Mr. V. I'm from upstate New York.
This is the last call because my thing ain't working. Mr. V from upstate New York. Mr. V from New York. Mr. V, how can we help you?
So I'll give you guys a quick little rundown on where I'm at in my investment, and then the question. So I have a few single and multi-families. I got a few renos under my belt. I got a few collections, but not really like a Rolodex. I all of the rehabs and renos on my own, or from maybe I've had some help from people at like Lowe's and stuff like that. Just that find the kind of that are hard to teach me how to do something, and everything's pretty much been self-done. So I've been kind of a one-man show here quietly in upstate New York. But so my question is now, how would you guys maneuver, let's say, 1 to 200K lump sum that you would get from an injury lawsuit, to make the most out of it and multiply it? Like, what would be your strategy to, multiply that as many times as you can? Working with something like that.
How old are you, V?
V, unfortunately, man, we're gonna have to just hang the phone up so we can answer because I can't get Dan on here at the same time with you. We got your question, okay?
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you guys very much. I appreciate the show.
All right, brother.
And I signed up for that course for you as well.
All right, cool, sweet. We'll see you this weekend. I don't know why this thing is not working. Okay, Dan, I would love to ask us some questions, but I can't get the thing to work. Go ahead, Dan. You can answer. Get the 200,000 from lump sum.
It kind of all depends on what part of your life you're in, right? So if
He sounds young.
Yeah. So if Chris and I got that, if I got that at my age, I'd probably put that into some safe ETFs, where it's going to go directly into my retirement. I don't need it. But now, if that happened to me when I was 30 years old, I would take that and make that as deposit monies on as many properties as I can. What do I mean by that? Let's say, like upstate New York, you could go to Albany and you could pick up something for $250,000, right? Let's say, so all I have to come up with is $50,000 as a down payment for that house, which will be 20%, so that I don't have to pay PMI insurance. So I'm going to buy 4 houses with that $200,000, right? And then I'm going to cash flow those 4 houses. So it kind of all depends where you are in your life. Now, V sounds like he's got a few properties. He knows how to do things. This is his opportunity now to accelerate his acquisition to add to his inventory. So again, and he sounds like he's young. So it all depends on what part of your life you're in right now.
Yeah. But I think he could use some of that money to flip it too, Dan. I don't know if I wanted him sinking it all into long-term assets.
Well, it depends. Like I said, some you can and you can't. Like, it also depends on what the opportunities are, right? And hence the reason why I said earlier why I wouldn't do seller financing on a home or condo, because I could take that money and flip it over how many times over the same period of time. So, it all depends on what's available to you at the moment, what opportunities are there.
Let me ask you, Dan, because you were telling me about some crypto stuff a couple of days ago. I think a lot of us look for the big wins a lot of times, including me. We're looking for the shiny, especially now with Trump, with these coins and all this. I'm trying to just, with these coins. Should people look for the big licks? I mean, is that something that you recommend, or should they look for something that's more steady? Or what they understand?
Right. I've always been the turtle in the race. I've never been the rabbit in the race. So
me too.
Slow and steady is that's been my philosophy. Now,
Me too.
I'm not. Listen, do I own some crypto? I do. Do I own a lot of it? No. Is it something that's gonna like heartbreak me if I lose it? No. It's something to play with for me. The reality is this, Chris, and as well as I do, we can learn, read, but not until we start actually doing it is when we start to learn.
I just think, well, my mentor is like, Chris, I don't want you to focus on being rich. He keeps telling me this. He's like, I want you to focus on your best lifestyle. That's why when we do these classes, y'all, nowhere in the title do you see making money, right? We want y'all to make money, but we want to talk about strategy, lifestyle, family. Those are the things, that is the principles we start with. And then we peel back to the strategies, and then we go to the tactics, okay? So when you listen to Dan Borrero, you got 30 plus years. I'm going to big him up here, give him his flowers now, because he can see all the little potholes that I'm going to hit going down the road doing this stuff. And when he says, I don't want to sell financing, I want to know why. I want to listen to this stuff because it's important for me to listen to the elders, man. I'm not saying you old, Dan. I'm just like, you've been down there.
I'm old, bro. I'm going to be 62 in April.
April. Oh, wow. I hope I get there. And then we're getting out of here. We're done, y'all. But I want to ask you, I got so much I want to talk to you about. Picking a vehicle. We can have so many different things. We're trying crypto, real estate, businesses, rental property, seller, for all this little stuff. What would you recommend going back for people that are kind of getting started off, Dan? Because you can just it's so many things to do. And before you answer that, I wanted to also, I'm reading the book. Talks about, it's called Atomic Habits, and it says the reason people don't develop good habits is because there's us as humans are looking for that dopamine fix. Like when we think about having a beer is better than having a beer. Like you think about, I'm giving a beer. But when you get it, you're getting that fix. And I was thinking about real estate. You don't get the fix. You might not get that fix for 15 years, dude. You might not, so I just want you to kind of bring all that around. There is no fix.
Listen, the reality is I've never had a nice vehicle for myself until a year and a half ago. Whenever I went and bought a vehicle, I was like, all right, how can it help me make money? How's it going to make my life easier? The last new car I bought before I bought the truck I just bought myself was in 2012. And it was a Honda Accord with no frills.
Damn, you're a mess.
No leather seats, no frills. Now, I still own that Honda Accord. That Honda Accord with the taxes, the extended warranty for 7 years, bumper to bumper, out the door cost me $22,000. And I've made a lot of money with that Honda Accord. That Honda Accord has taken me to all my properties. It's driven me to negotiate for other deals. When I'm pulling up, right, and I'm pulling up with my Honda Accord, and I'm going to go make a lowball offer on this poor lady's house.
And they're not going to question you on that.
Then I'm not pulling up with a Mercedes Benz with a Maybach and saying, "Yeah, I'm rich. Let me make you more. I'm gonna have your house make me more rich." No,
that's no good.
Yeah. So, do I drive a really nice truck now? I do. But my property's paid for that. Right? If I had been spending the money, listen, that truck I drive is a $90,000 truck. If I spent $90,000 on a truck, I wouldn't have had $90,000 to put down as down payments on the properties that I own today.
Dan, what do you think is the problem with us wanting to look rich as opposed to being rich? What is it, dude? I
can't tell you because I never had that mentality. I never cared about looking rich. I'm rich. I'm rich. But if you saw me walking in the street, you'd never know I was rich.
Could you give people some? I think it goes back to that dopamine in our heads. We want that quick. Because we both teach people.
I think everyone's got a different dopamine habit, right? My dopamine habit is looking at my bank account every day. Looking at my Vanguard investments on my Charles Schwab, on my Coinbase. That's my dopamine habit. Every morning I wake up, first thing I do is I check my accounts.
But that's private. No one can see that though.
No, come at 11 o'clock. First thing I'm doing is checking when I go to sit down for lunch, I'm on a job site, I'm checking my accounts. Damn, what should I sell something? Should I trade something? Should I buy something?
Gotcha.
Come 3:30 in the afternoon, I'm checking my accounts right before the trading time ends. Right? That's my dopamine habit.
All right. Well, I'm just saying that say no one sees you do that. That's you've trained yourself. No one gets to see that. Listen, y'all, get signed up. We got 2 hours and this thing's going away.
Well, listen, guys, let's go over this one more time. Last time
I thought we were only giving it to the first 20 people. We already got way more than that signed up. So I don't know. Is it over?
I don't know. I haven't looked at it. How many people signed up?
I mean, it's over 30 now. I'm looking at the thing.
All right. Well, listen, guys, this is the reality, guys. Scroll down if you don't mind. Chris and I, this is the first course that we've actually done where it's going to be 20 that we're going to charge. It's going to be $29. We decided on this because we are constantly, every day of the week, getting a question about contractors, right? You know, and we hearing the nightmares. So after this class will be held on Saturday, the 25th.
This coming Saturday.
From 11 to 2 on Zoom. And we're going to be discussing where do you find those contractors? How do you find those contractors? What's that conversation like when you start that conversation with those contractors? What skill sets should they have, or how do they prove the quality of their work, right? What questions you should be asking, and what kind of response you should be getting in return. How to compare estimates, right? How to negotiate the final estimate. How to make sure that everything is in the scope of work. How to control the money. Scroll down, Chris, if you don't mind. Now, this is going to be only until 12 o'clock tonight, guys, until midnight. At 11:59, this is coming out. For anybody that wants to get the CEO package, you will pay only the general admissions package in celebration of Martin Luther King. Listen to what we're saying. In celebration of Martin Luther King's birthday tomorrow, you will have the opportunity, and the code is MLK. The coupon code is MLK. You will get the CEO package at the general admission price, and that will give you not only the opportunity to be there, but you'll also be able to ask questions because the people who have general admission will not. Okay, and you will also get a copy of the class itself sent directly to your email, and you will also be able to have a conversation with Chris and I because we start the class for the people with the CEO package 30 minutes before everyone else.
All right, we're done. I see, Don, you got a question here, but can you answer this real quick? How do you evaluate the value of a buy and hold portfolio so you can sell it to an end buyer?
Man, that's a law.
That's shit, man.
We
get a consultation.
That's a consultation discussion.
Sorry, Don.
That's hours class.
All right. Dan, thank you for taking the time with me. I know you got a million things on. What's the temperature? You tell us about your day when you out there busting. It's gonna be 19 degrees in Virginia. So that means it's gonna be 0 where you at.
I don't know what it is outside, man. I've been sick all day. I haven't gone. I went outside for 2 minutes when it started snowing. And I want everyone to know this, guys. I put my hand out the door so I could feel the snow. Snow was icy and wet. So I know my guys tonight, because it's supposed to end around 11:30 tonight, they're going to suffer shoveling that snow tonight, right? But although I was sick, I made sure all of my buildings last week, I went to every single one of my properties, made sure they had enough salt, made sure they had the shovels, and they had the brooms, right?
This is Virginia.
I was on the phone with all my guys today, twice, making sure they know as soon as the last flake drops, they're at those properties shoveling. Because that snow, when I felt it, if we don't attack it as soon as the snow falls, it's going to turn into night, like morning time.
So if I'm 12 degrees, I mean, you've got to be -10. This is me. 19, 10.
I don't know, man. Go to New York. New York City. Type in New York City.
I got to put those little spigot things on my.
The feel of the snow tells me how bad we're going to get it.
Oh, it ain't too bad. 29. I thought it'd be way worse than that.
What is it?
29, 26, 10 at night.
Yeah, it's the nighttime that kills us.
Yeah, nighttime.
All right, guys. I want to thank everyone for being here. Chris, man, it's always a pleasure to share the screen with you,
You too,
bro.
brother. Y'all get signed up. I look forward to seeing you this weekend. Peace.
Good night, everyone.